Hey you guys, it's your girl T, and I've gotten a bunch of requests to do a video on the whole Vybz Kartel situation. So unless you've been living under a rock, which is my favorite saying, so if that saying makes you mad, stay mad, okay? So anyways, unless you've been living under a rock, our favorite dancehall reggae artist, Vybz Kartel, he was sentenced to life in prison the other day. And when I tell you the internet went nuts, the Jamaicans went nuts. I tell you his Gaza fans, they went nuts on the internet. A lot of Jamaicans went nuts on the internet. A lot of folks were really upset that their favorite dancehall artist was sentenced to life in prison. So let me go ahead and rewind that back, okay? The last time I did a video about Vybz Kartel, this was about 3 years ago, and this was after he became infamous for bleaching his skin. Vybz Kartel went crazy with the cake soap. He was putting cake soap all over his body, and he went from a dark-skinned Vybz Kartels to a light-skinned Vybz Kartels, and then he started getting tattoos all over his body. After that, he blew up. A lot of folks started getting into his music and listening to his music, and a little bit after that, somebody in his entourage named Clive Williams, he ended up missing. Nobody could find him. You know, Vybz Kartel was under suspicion, but folks at that point in time didn't really know. Speculation that Vybz Kartel had something to do with the murder. So after that, they had found some tapes, some recordings, text messages, basically where Vybz Kartel busted himself out and he was talking to his co-conspirators, basically saying that Lizard's body would never be found and it was minced up into mincemeat. So once the prosecution got a hold of this tape, they ended up arresting Vybz Kartel, and Vybz Kartel has been in jail since 2011. This ended up being one of the longest court proceedings in the history of Jamaica. It took them 65 days to find this man guilty. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys a news clip right now, and I will come back with the rest of my commentary.
I want to give you breaking news here. As it happens, the sentence has been handed down in the murder trial of Clive Williams. The 4 co-convicts have been given their sentence. We're going to be joining shortly Rohan Daly, who is actually at the scene outside the Supreme Court, courtroom 1 of the Home Circuit Court downtown Kingston. So we can actually join Rohan Daly right now. Rohan Daly, just give us the sentences and the reactions, the early reactions.
And indeed, our client has maintained his innocence and his intention to appeal the sentence that has been handed down upon him.
You were expecting this?
Yes, we did.
What will be your next course of action?
Obviously, assessing all the documents, putting the relevant paperwork in place so we can initiate the appeal process.
What's the mood of Vybz Kartel now? What was his reaction?
No comment on that. Thank you.
All right, so that is the latest that we have for you. Just to repeat, Vybz Kartel has received life and hard labor and not eligible for parole before 35 years. Shawn Storm, he has received life also, not eligible for parole before 25 years. And André St. John, pretty much just about the same, life, hard labor, and 30 years. He's not eligible for parole before 30 years. Well, there seems to be some kind of chaos, and the police are actually out now in their numbers to ensure, right on Barry Street. I'm not sure if you are seeing that at the present moment, but the police trying their best to maintain some kind of order at this stage, as supporters and family members of Kartel are actually shouting their disgust at the sentence, and the police certainly having it a little bit difficult at this point in controlling. We are going to try and see if we can have a word now with Miguel Lorne, who is actually the lawyer for, let's see if we can get Miguel Lorne at this point.
So you guys just watched the news clip, and there's a lot of tweets on Twitter. Even Drake shouted out Vybz Kartel. You know, a lot of his Gaza fans were really upset. A lot of folks were really sad, you know, that he went to jail behind this. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of these tweets. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of the reactions of his fans at the courthouse, and I will come back with the rest of my commentary.
From them time, them hate cartel until now. What cartel do them? Father God, what cartel do them? Father God, cartel do them. I was the policeman and kill Bernard and I was the them 15 years.
What about the church now? What about the common man, the common family? Vybz Kartel was innocent in all of this.
He's not really innocent. He's not really that is my view. I cannot find this somebody. I have to sentence him. True. Alright, this is somebody there should never be a case.
Okay, so you guys just saw the tweets and you guys just listened to the courthouse interviews. A lot of folks also don't realize that Beyonce also sampled one of Vybz Kartel's songs. In the song Who Runs This World Girls, that sample came from Major Lazer and Vybz Kartel's. Their song is called Pon de Floor. If you listen to that song, that's where Beyonce got that sample from. So a lot of Beyonce fans know that sample from that Vybz Kartel song. So my whole opinion on this situation is, you know, I don't understand how folks are really upset about him getting life in prison. Another thing that bothered me in that news clip, if you guys listen to it, they said that after the jury came out and found him guilty, the judge made the jury go back and redeliberate and basically talk everything over, almost to ask them to make sure before finding this man guilty. I don't understand why the judge would do that. You almost made it seem like the judge was kind of corrupt. You know, the fact that he was trying to make the jury go back and redeliberate in hopes that they would find him not guilty. You know, my thing is this. This man was caught on tape saying that no one will ever find Lizard's body and that Lizard's body was mashed up into mincemeat. I mean, he basically busted himself out on the telephone recordings via text messages, you know, and people were so upset. They're saying it's a conspiracy. How dare they give him life in prison? So after all the uproar, one of the Jamaican news stations decided to post all the recording evidence. Now I'll post a link down below. It's about 10 minutes long. You guys can click the link and listen to it. And he's talking there about killing this man. His co-conspirators are there. They're talking about, you know, everything is done. They minced him into mincemeat. So my thing is, I blame Vybz Kartel. He thought he was invincible and he thought he was above the law. You know, he didn't think that he'd be charged. He didn't think that he'd be looking at prison time. And the joke was on him. You know what I'm saying? He was guilty of killing this man. And then from what I hear, the only reason why he killed him is because the dude was a fuckboy. So instead of him kicking him out the entourage and not dealing with him, he decides to prove a point by murdering this dude. You know, almost like mafia style, you know, trying to make himself look bigger than what he is. Unfortunately for him, this is not, you know, the year of the mafia. If you kill somebody and there's DNA evidence, there's recording evidence, you're going to be found guilty. And that's where he messed up, is he was running his mouth. You know, he got comfortable. He thought that he would not be found guilty. But this man killed this dude, so I don't see how his fans are upset or trying to make excuses. You know, my personal opinion, you have to put yourself in the victim's shoes and in the victim's family's shoes. What if this was your brother? What if this was your boyfriend or your husband or your friend? You know, regardless of this situation, regardless if this man was shady, regardless if he stole Vybz Kartel's shoes, his money, whatever the hell this dude did, at the end of the day, nobody deserves to get their life taken. Kartel set up this murder. He had his friends, you know, his co-conspirators pull off the murder. So he's right where he should be. And for him, I don't understand why folks are so upset and shocked by the verdict when the man busted himself out on tape. So anyways, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire crazy situation concerning Vybz Kartel's. Do you feel like he is guilty? Do you feel bad for him? And then how do you feel about his Gaza fans mad that he's getting life in prison even though he admitted to being behind this murder? So let me know your thoughts on this entire situation. Alright, deuces.